Well, let's see how these teams use the change to a wrangle to the best of their advantage as we send it over to Pansy and the long-lost 6th Weasley. It's Sims.
He's definitely taken notes. He's definitely made some intros up. He's definitely thought about this. That's why we love Steve being on the desk. It's a pleasure to have you with us here over in Europe, but we need to look at the game. It's the first time we get to see Erangel in this tournament, and bear in mind, thus far, we have had these upcoming teams. Some we've seen more of than others. Of course, the Wildcats definitely were brought to our radar. But, you know, for me, this has been a wonderful tournament so far to have a look at what's beyond the top, 5 that we see on a regular basis. We're used to seeing Na'Vi winning things. We're used to seeing, Northern Lights picking up these victories. But can these newer teams transfer it to the classic, the old school, the back in the day? Is there going to be any of those potential hot drops? Another theoried point that was brought up initially, is there going to be anyone a little bit too close for comfort? We'll find out, because of course there's plenty of room available for some of these newer teams, because this roster, this group of players is very varied from what we've seen recently. But still, Rich, my mind goes towards, can they replicate that on a map that has been done to death? I love Erangel. It's one of my favorite maps to watch.
I think there's one thing to be said about PUBG. I like that they're adapting things and changing things up. We're not in it yet, and we've only just, this is our 4th game on the new patch, so I don't want to start talking too much of it. But if you've read the recent patch notes, the changes to vehicles are insane. They're going to change the game so much. The vehicles will have different areas of body damage, different percentage of damage from different areas, but also once they're on fire and they're smoking, they don't instantly blow up. There is a 5-second time. So you now know that when your vehicle's dead and gone in the water, you can pull to a house, to some kind of rock, to something, to try and stay alive. It's going to change the meta and change the game and change how people rotate and play and pull up. 2 players going down from Bishop, as I was saying that. Again, don't want to touch on it too much, but I just kind of give note to PUBG of how things are still adapting and how things are changing up. It's pretty damn good, and I'm excited to see how that patch plays out at a later date. For now, I'm ecstatic to be honest with you, to see the barrel inplay. It's always been a favourite gun of mine. Such a great gun for close combat, and now with everything else changing up around, and again, it's not just that. With the M4 taking a little bit of a nerf, decreased damage, decreased velocity, increased on the reload time. Don't get me wrong, it's still a phenomenal weapon for someone who honestly struggles aiming, but if you just want it to be that gun where you can spray and laser instantly, it's always been that. The stock and the stick that you can put underneath on the under attachments on the underbarrel is just in a great gun. But now we're allowing more towards the meta. I'm intrigued to see how people use and abuse this. We haven't seen any mutants come into play in the M16, and for Tapfire, a few people were testing them out as opposed to using SKS. Unfortunately, we've still got the huge amount of damage, and Martin touching it on Twitter not so long back. The SLR is still, for me, overpowered. It needs a nerf. Kind of roll it down a little bit. We said, how do we bring more things in and try and get more bolt actions? And it's not that simple to bring more bolt actions into play. The meta that we play off of, because it's once a player goes down, you need to confirm that knock. So everyone's going to use the DMR because you just spray in and confirm the knock before it's stolen. It's a point. It has to happen.
Vectic's going to be getting a couple of shots through. Gustav trying to get down the dip and get away, get to a bit of cover. Deny line of sight, as Northern Lights are not far off from this. And if they keep chasing, though, they'll go right towards Uber, right towards 80. So they can't keep doing this. And Batulins, you better be careful. Don't be short-sighted on this one. Don't get ahead of yourself. This could be a mistake from Batulins. As you can see the fire on the corner. A little tunnel visioned on the approach. As the rest of Northern Lights now need to carry on past and leave Batulins to die. A little unfortunate for him, but it's what can happen. But yes, Raise Your Edge have been often seen swinging far up towards the north of that hillside. Itchy does get the flush, so that's points for FaZe. But FaZe have had a rough run so far. This has not been smooth for them. Currently sitting in 10th. Not bad, but not brilliant. Not the FaZe you'd want to be seeing right now. You'd want to see a little bit stronger, you'd imagine. That's strong, though, from Kissick. Nice little double tap, but it's not without an answer back from Alia. SLRs galore. Everyone fancying a bit of it.
We'll attempt to get the revive here. They've got the utility. They haven't been in too many engagements just yet, which with your armor, you can at least take those extra bullets. It does go up in flames as the vehicle, so Kissick is eliminated from the lobby for now. They've already lost Artix as well, so for better luck next time, it's probably just survive, go into recuperation mode, fall back, play edge, go quiet. I think that's definitely the options here for them. Circle itself, again, we'd expect it to go to the north just because of the tendency that they've been we've been watching as casters that we've seen for quite some time now. This is probably the previous one on the vehicle. Okay, so that's a drive-by. Nice work, Melman. Good job. Do a lot of damage to vehicles. He's just listening for where there's actually a rotation behind him, so they're setting up to kind of take them out, remove them from field of play, and by doing so, giving themselves a lot of room and breathing space to be able to carry on through the game.
Absolutely. Now, you did see She Created getting a little bit closer there. And everyone else is somewhat currently inside the circle. I think, as I said, most of the teams watching the current game, you saw this hit, you get that feeling that it likes to go a little north, so I don't think it's a bad idea to position for that and account for it early on. Besiktas, their final two, have to be quite cautious here. It's definitely catching the eyes of the players. BSD catching the back of Melman, down to a one-shot now. Melman tries to stand his ground, gets put on his knees, and BSD claims another.
To be doing, they're hitting the garage compound, which is just to the far side of the apartments and the police station. She created, is that no helmet as well? It is. Yep, that's exactly what it isn't. It is a hoodie. Instant tag, instant frag, job done for Elliot. Remove one and carry on. Can now maybe feel out where the rest of them are and feed that information back. Actually seeing on the opposing side maybe a Moisen as well, so I would say listen out for that to come into effect, but it is rather quieter compared to the Car 98, so if you find one of those you will be using as opposed to the Car 9. Meant to be just listening for where this one player is. Besiktas trying to avoid another 16th place. They should see him straight out the back. Job done. That's a 3 out of 4. 16th placements coming out of Besiktas. This is not a good day, boys, whatsoever. I'm marking all these down. Don't you worry.
It's mad when Hagrid starts kicking off at you.
Oh my God, Lauren.
You're a Weasley, Richard. It's brilliant. I love it. I'm happy. Anyway, speaking of happiness, Larvae going to be laughing up in the north. If they can get rid of Tixu pretty quick, actually they've lost out on him towards Besto's been flushed. If they'd kept that clean, they would have been so happy, but they've been picked apart a little bit on the sides, and that's a little unfortunate. Their position would have been so strong up there, because they could have just swept down the hillside, but not able to keep it as clean as they'd like. The south is about to come to a bit of a pointy end as well. FaZe could be swinging towards Unity, GF, Red Zone, the Penguins. This is about to get very, very brutal. We're going to lose a good couple of teams in the next couple of seconds.
Tico down to the blue. He will be picked up, though, and at least the point is not wasted. So Unity seal that one, but they've got problems of their own by making noise. They are out inside of the blue. Red Zone, FaZe Clan. GF, the last player standing, Beetle. TMP now, their position to fight for that compound, just move further afield, has become all that more important. Because backed up by the compound that they hold, there is a ridgeline. It gives them a bit of a vantage point and everybody else. That's a good name if it wasn't a, but it's not. Atomical out of the blue and into the fires and flames of FaZe Clan. Easy kill for them. Job done. Gustav with the SLR probably just trying to find where the next point of contact will be. Fire through the smoke. Gets the job done at least. Fate force for the heal. The frag could be, even just the tag will get the job done because he's so weak. Maybe a bit further back. 32 damage. It was close. A little bit too far. Avoids the flash. Nice to at least turn around and say no, not today. That's a banger of some damage, though. The only problem is this needed to be a bit more quick, Lauren, I would say. This is stalling them.
Yeah, you bang on. For Senya and Kemba, they'd want to just get past this to try and focus on playing down the hill or do anything else with that. Snipper actually going to go fight in the south as well. Let's look at the map there. They're trying to obviously swing a little further towards the west while they do it, but they would love to be able to clear some of these teams up. 80 does find Set. So that was initial, I think, Snip's target, trying to clear out anyone in the blue. But the Penguins fighting the same sort of position as well. Quantum trying to hold on in the southwest side, but they are being fought to the nines. Quizzy to find kill still. And Tornado Energy with 3 players against the mere 1. It's going to be a sweep through, and that's 10 kills for Tornado Energy. Playing a pretty harsh game. We've got to look at the south pretty soon. Fate is a dead man. Surely Kevin's going to trade that. Errol, big boy damage.
Oh!
Tixu nabbed it.
He did him. He did him. 2 versus 1. You can't let that slip. And we spoke about being slowed down. Not only slowed down, it stopped them going anywhere further. They're dead. The Northern Lights are actually exposing their position. They probably have to move ever so slightly. By doing so, we'll give them a bit more of a better eyeline this entire fight. Zorf, Bogger, they're all falling to the blue. They've been slowed down so much, there's nothing they can do.
the only one team can really walk away in this position. That's why they're trying to fight it out now, I guess. Zico tried to move forward, but I think he's been spotted by Rager Edge, about to move slightly further south. You see the Northern Lights keeping the Penguins at bay, and they need to move back around that hillside. Stealthy's still alive in the smoke, which is quite surprising, but maybe living up to that name. The Wildcat still has, I think it's 11 alive in that circle. Rager Edge with 4, of course. Very, very comfy. Monkey finding Zico does mean that Stealthy is the only one standing for Snip, and they're in danger now. Perfectix is going to try and work through this. Stealthy trying to play the edge of the smoke. That's good for 1. Oh, that was a good bit of damage towards a second. Spyro certainly on the receiving end there, but Northern Lights will manage to stay alive for now. Monkey's getting quite interested in this, though.
In the north, comfortable, happy. No one really to argue with him. Some rocks to play off and trees as well, so it should be a hidden approach. I like Monkey's position, though, currently on the map. It's pivotal for the rest of Rager Edge to deny Unity any further advancement inside the circle. Example, onto 11, finds another solo snake in the grass. Job done, they take the plateau. Level 3 gear, I'm hoping on one of these rosters, seeing a Mark 14, unless it's been picked off of a dead body.
Oof, Tixu.
Down. Could be dead as well. Oh, that'd be devastating. Get him. He doesn't get him.
So close. Nailup's almost dead in the water. Yeah, Alia does find him. Tornado Energy becomes stronger and stronger now. A 3v3, almost a 3v2 if the res doesn't come out. We did see the knock towards Shiv, but they've stabilized. They've brought themselves together, and I feel like Rager Edge thought they might have an easier time sweeping through the south than they did actually have, and Tornado Energy has built up to be this threat that they didn't expect. And look at that high ground. Look how much this provides vision-wise.
Let's not forget the nuclear penguins, and you've still got that ridgeline they can work with. It runs it into the circle further than what some teams will probably hope it would. Gives them a good amount of cover as well. The fact that nobody... Same goes for all these teams, to be fair, when you've got no one on your backside. It's Shiv and Udyr in the most precarious position. Monkey's probably there for the refrag of someone else overextending, I want to say.
This is brave. So essentially, Monkey is going to try and kill Example, but you've got to hope that Alia and Quizzy keep him safe, and that's what he's done. Example's been allowed to move up to that tree under the assumption his teammates were to keep him safe. Nice work, hit and run, back away. That's going to put the pressure back on Rager Edge now. Really nice small piece from Tornado Energy, and Monkey is desperate to try and counter this, try and counter-fight this, but there should be a trade available. There it is, right back in Alia. Straight away there, as soon as Example went down, they had that in mind. Udyr has made a run for it. Udyr's out of there now. It's going to be down to the Penguins to come into this matter with potentially a good amount of players left. Hellscream's position could be quite nice too. This suddenly kind of changes the landscape we're witnessing.
I don't think Udyr is anywhere even close for a position of a res. We would expect not. Nuclear Penguins, I imagine they split off 1-to-1. Polar opposite ends of the map, maybe to try and encompass into a position and see what they can do. Monkey gone, removed from play. Udyr last man standing, but again, a decent weapon to hold. Information has been taken away to his direct location. Also, the attention has been drawn towards the... I wonder if Scooby at the moment is just shooting towards them, Lauren, to maybe try and let Hellscream get in a better position. If you can get behind them and flank them, that'd be phenomenal.
Certainly could be, but we have to wait and see if that would ever be the matter as Scooby and Hellscream. To try and make this one count, Hellscream's position, it's has the potential, right? It has everything that could go right for it, but he's got to time it right. He's got to play it right. Scooby needs to get the heal off and then try and play it back in. And this is the chance. 3 alive, though. Put it back on their feet. This is a big bit of attention trying to be grabbed by Scooby. Just like, please, look at me. Hellscream, do something. Try and get that knock. Try and get on that ridgeline. Try and do something. Try and garner some of the damage you could have done, but no, it's all but over. The Penguins full foul at the end, and Tornado Energy. My word, what a bit of performance at the end there. I loved watching that. I was kind of surprised they got away with it. I thought Rager Edge could have exploited that more potentially, but it wasn't to be.
All my life I want money and power, respect my mind, no die from last shot. I pray my dick get big as the Eiffel Tower, so I can fuck the world for 72 hours. Goddamn, I feel amazing. Damn, I'm in the matrix. My mind is living on cloud 9 and this 9 is never on vacation. Start up that Maserati.